Hello, this is Divine Sunshine, and welcome to Divine Unisouls 11. I have a reading to do today. Thank you for finding this channel. Thank you for, again, taking time out from your Memorial Day weekend or whenever you watch this, to be able to say, look into what's going on. I know we have a full moon, I think it's June 5th. And so what I'm going to do is take a look and see what's going on as far as the energy and what it's bringing to us as well. So when we're talking about, I'm looking at the moon card and seeing what they're talking about. Clear. Which is the energies. Gotcha. Of it's time to take action. And interesting, it's got the Aries, and I was watching a video and it was talking about the Aries, which I am an Aries. And this to me is, again, definitely when we're talking about right now, this moon energy is bringing to us with a more of a hyper focus. The soul is more so getting more in a line and kind of pushing towards, and the Aries energies is more so dealing with divine masculine energies too. So that means in how we're going about in the world, how we're actually going out there and causing within with the divine feminine energies to have that fertilization of our dreams, manifesting, cooking it up, but then bringing it forth into manifestation into the 3D and actually moving matter to make things actually happen and to create it in the outer or in our world to show up. It is time to take action. There's probably now, I would say, there's a lot of things that we feel like we should be doing. I think even beforehand, even if I take a key for my life of seeing how some things didn't know which steps to kind of actually make, but knew I needed to do. What I'm picking up now is that from the energies that are opening up for us to actually make the movement. I think the road is going to be more clear, or the steps are going to be more clear, and you're going to feel more so like aha moments. Yes, this is actually it. And you're going to be able to use that Aries energies to ram like to kind of, again, they know laser beam target as to what their target is and how to push all of their energies to make sure that those things are moved forward. And this is the energies, especially in our divine masculine energies, no matter what heart's desire, what things we want to really manifest and come forth. This is what this new, this full moon, I call it new because it feels like to me it's a new action. And that's why, again, as far as new action, about us leaning into our intuition, our awareness of how we're supposed to be able to go get this thing. But I feel also, for me to say a new moon is like, again, the moon action, which is, again, getting rid of the illusions too, and really moving into which is June. So we're in this number is 6. Spirit has been led to tell me to go by the actual numbers of the month and what it represents. And so 6 is really moving into what we really love, everything that I love, and how we can really be able to go after that thing. So this is what, and I think reading the card where it's saying new moon, this is where it's coming from, is really taking that action. And it's interesting that enough, again, there's darkness. So to me, even with you not being able to see, even in the darkness, or get any kind of like light or clarity as to where to go, you really are going to rely on really seeing, not being able to see where things are going to manifest or where you need to go or how things are going to actually come together. You got to truly rely upon your intuition and your awareness and block out the illusions that might be presented. Because currently, collectively, we looked at the twin flames, or wherever you are on this journey. Clear. His interest, I see the deceit at the bottom of the pile. we're really working on this comparison. Usually when I see the envy card, again, how we're comparing ourselves to others or things on the outer, and how it's keeping us still left in the dark instead of us actually stepping out into the light. I believe that whatever this new thing this probably we're trying to go about doing, we're looking at how everybody else is doing it, and Spirit is like, no, this is time for you to create a new path, a new way of doing this. But this envy, or this, again, to me, I feel like when I look at it, it's like it's becoming tired and old, and it's not helping you to be into the number 2, come into union or come into unity with whatever you actually want to do. It's kind of keeping you in this old mindset instead of helping you to move into the new, because you're comparing like how it was in the past to how it is in the future, and there's causing a conflict there. And this is you really, in order to be able to deal with this new energies that this full moon is bringing in us, is understanding that stop the comparing, because it's stopping you to go into union. Is really this zero with that God force behind you, with God pushing, or the source, or any kind of angelic or higher beings or whatever like that. You're getting support from the universe to back you, to say get out of that comparing the old to the new, or comparing yourself to others. You are now working on healing these energies now, healing the past, because of this kind of 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future. This is causing you to really say again, okay, enough is enough, and let me really start dealing with healing. If you have not, these energies now they're coming up are really bubbling over. I'm looking at, and they're showing me a picture of like when I was over at my parents' house, the sewer system would always kind of back up. You know, all the water would start bubbling from the little drainage pipe or whatever, opening and the hole, and all of it just come over. And this is what it is. It's like, even if you had called yourself kind of stuffing it down, Spirit is like, we're bringing all of this stuff up, especially when I'm looking at this number 2, which again is about unity and getting in union with the actual thing that you want, or the heart's desire. This stuff has got to come up so you can move into being more Christ-like, more light, more of getting rid of whatever this is not being able to forgive, being able, this fear, all these lower vibrational energies, moving into that from the past that has created you to be a certain way or to be that way, is also coming up to deal with and to heal. Spirit is bringing that up. Also, for again the collective, some of us again are being very stressed, anxiety about this as well, and they're really trying to bring this out. And it's a lot of us again. And to me, when we're talking about anxiety is just mainly not believing that that you're being supported by the universe, that, you know, the universe really does truly have the back, that you're well equipped to handle everything. And that's a lot of times when you're dealing with anxiety, is about you trying to move matter yourself, or you trying to change things as a human, but not, because I've been watching the series Guy with Rewired, and where he was saying about understanding that, as again, is not the human, not the spirit is in the human beings, but also that the human is inside of spirit. And they also had that on YouTube, and he was talking about that, and how we keep on trying to change things and move things, in which, in order for us to change our outer world, it's got to be within. We always say that, so within, so without. And so we have to change our mindset. We have to move things and change things spiritually, in order for this thing to actually come into manifestation. However, what I see in the background here is I see lightning, which means, again, if you're having anxiety about that, again, source is also going to ignite, also give some extra kind of like power. I'm thinking like a video game where like Pac-Man, and it eats the ghost or eats whatever it is, and then it gives it that extra strength, which is more spiritual strength, to be able to do what it has to do. This is where we are moving into Those of us that, again, is moving into it, but maybe hopefully by watching this, you're being kind of semi-warned not to move into that energies. But it's a lot of stress. Some of us have been stressing over something. Some of us have been even having anxiety about actually moving into this. As well, a lot of sleepless thinking, sleepless nights because of these energies. It is that we are getting to the point that we're being pressure cooked as well. This is where we are. Now, what is some of the instructions or directions that Spirit want us to do at this point? I'll come back to that. It says I am to take action. What is the action the Spirit wants us to actually take? Okay, the devil. So to me, when I'm looking at here, and I'm looking at this hand about this release, and something about this to me is releasing. Understanding that with that energy is of really truly releasing ourselves from the negativity, or as I had did in my series of talking about the 7 deadly sins, how we through sins mean we have missed the mark. Some kind of way in which I'm thinking and I'm looking at this is like we're letting the negativity, the negative energies, any other low vibration things really have control of us, and we feel like we are lacking freedom or freedom of movement to be able to take this action, which is causing us to feel like we're being puppeteered by either the universe or our circumstances or our situations, and we're not being able to get out of it, have our freedom here. So the first thing, again, as far as taking action, is dealing with, to me, how are we viewing things? How are we looking at things? This is the first step that we have to do as far as that energies, because dealing with that lower consciousness or that lower vibrations or these negative Nelly thoughts and actions that we're taking from either the past or what people have done to us is causing for us to not be able to move into action moving forward. So in dealing with that, we have the world. The world here is, again, to when I look at this, means we've got in order for us, we've got the number 21, which is interesting. I looked at it 12. This is the second time about that number 21 been coming up, 12 and 21. So I would say that, again, it's something about divine order. For everything to move into divine order, we have got to move into that energies of ending cycles. And here, what you got the world here, which is to be how you're going to do that, again, is like what I said earlier, working within, outside of the circle, working with who it is yourself, being able to create that world. So on the outer, I'm looking at these geometric shapes, which to me is like, again, computing, formulating, using the things within our minds to create the world that we want to see on the outside. It's all about our world, but it's got to be the world within. When we're talking about changing things, and I think about it, I listened to something and it was talking about, you can't change people, circumstances where they are, because the way they are is the way they're going to be. However, what you can do is change you. So in order for you to, again, to get rid of the negative Nellies, the thinking of you can't be released, you've got to end the cycles. And how do you end the cycles? Which is starting within, how you're being able to move spiritually and create that manifestation to come into fruition in the 3D. We've got to work within. Okay, next, after we have done that, because I asked for steps, then we're moving into the Chariot card. The Chariot card there is, again, moving, break fast, easy. When I look at this card, I think about there's a breakthrough. So there's a breakthrough. Once we have that and we get in line with seeing this negative energies or entities or thinking and thoughts for what they are, understanding that, again, it has held us captive, understanding that in order for us to do that, we've got to end the cycles, go use our divine feminine energies to really manifest and to create this new beginning that we want to have in taking action. We got to move swiftly. What I see with the chariot card is always that's moving energies. I've always been taught through metaphysics that spirit is instant as you are. So when it says get up and go, you got to get up and go. And so it tells me to get up from this seat and now move to the left. And I was like, well, what that is? I can't sit there and question and ask. I got to move the chair, move over to the left, because who knows, maybe something is about to fall, you know, or it's the next thing move to the side because there's something else that I'm being led that I have to do. So again, when I see this chariot here, you're going to have to, again, take the ride. They might be risky about this action that you have to do, understanding that, again, I see horses there. This thing is still talking about freedom. So you got the white horse and the black horse. Again, having balance. How to be able to get that freedom. You might have to move in through the shadow aspect and the light aspect and be able to let them guide you both as to the direction that you need to go in order for you to gain your freedom. So again, that might be, again, dealing with some ego issues that you have to, because again, they talk about healing. I'm seeing how you and the ego can, again, come to a compromise and work together, because remember, ego is like a cheerleader. It gets you there, it gets your foot in the door. You might have to add a little extra, like oomph or having cojones by you relying upon your ego to get you there. But again, after you get in there, then that's when you tell the ego, thank you so very much, just wait right there, and I'll call you on an as-needed basis, because then ego can take you over, and then before you know, you're messing up things. It goes to the self-protective mode. It starts talking to you. Then before you know, you're the self-sabotaging, saying things that you shouldn't be saying, because you're relying on that ego to feed you the script of what to say, what to do after that, instead of you relying on intuition and awareness to keep you there. It's got you there in the door. Ego gets you in the door, but your intuition and awareness keeps you there. Okay? And so that's the next thing here too as well. You got the Ace of Swords. To me, again, when we're talking about actions, we've got to watch as far as how our thinking about this new action that this energy is bringing to us is causing us to kind of spiral out. It might be doing a lot of ruminating. It might be us trying to formulate over formula after formula after formula. Before we know it, we're looking like Albert Einstein here on top of our head, and we're not relying. And here is our antennas to source. And now we're putting out that feelers that we're picking up everything and anything, instead of really honing it in and saying, I just really just need the downloads and the information from source, because we're doing all that extra thinking. This is what I am picking up. So in the feminine, especially we got this crow here. And for crow, to me, it means that's that negative Nelly, that negative thinking that we're allowing to. It's okay, the spiral of life, and also definitely when we're talking about thinking, you know, everything as far as in the world, and we talk about physics, has that spiraling action from our DNA strands that spiral. It has that action when we're talking about motions and dropping things. It has that action of, again, you know, you're on the path, you're off the path, you're dropping, you're accelerating, you're going higher. And so all of these things, as far as when you talk about traveling on the journey, and even in physics, sometimes it looks like you're not going in the direction that you're not supposed to. And so I'm saying this with this Ace of Swords. Swords represents conflict in thinking. You've got to make sure that you are moving yourself into that higher consciousness of thinking, and letting the negative thoughts kind of spiral away, and letting that enlightenment to come and really enlighten you as to where you need to go and your next steps as far as taking action too as well. So, you know, I see stairs here, so we're ascending, but there's, like, again, your actions, you're going to have to rely really heavily on your intuition, your awareness to tell you where you are, because you got to watch if you might have so many opportunities. They might come to you that you might feel a little bit overwhelmed, and that is where, you know yourself, to thine own self be true, that you've got to really understand as to what is best for you. And this is where you are, because Spirit wants to leave you on this note of knowing that what? that you are destined. This energy is going to put you on the path of being destined for. Wisdom, and I would say divine wisdom, that understanding that this action that you're taking, at times we are afraid to take the action because we don't trust our wisdom. This to me is like, again, it's going to put you on the path of being really truly this wisdom that's beyond your knowingness as a human being, and truly put you on the path of actually say, you know what, this is it. Everything is just coming to me. It's just like clicking. And if I don't know the resources and the ideas have come to me out of the blue, I might read something and it'll come to me. Somebody might say something, it might come to me. And so really being able to take this deep dive, no matter how emotional it is, you won't hit into going into this energy, which is having anxiety, because you feel safe in knowing that this is beyond whatever I'm seeing is just an illusion. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, or I know beyond what's being shown to me, because through divine wisdom, I can weigh from, to me, wisdom is using intellect, intuition together, and being able, and that's wisdom when they're working together. Wisdom, again, if it's not divine wisdom, wisdom to me is just you having just a sense of knowing because of book sense, or I've studied and I've done all these things, or experience. Wisdom is all of a marrying of all of those things: the wisdom, the experience, the knowing, the intuition, the book knowledge. All of that, the experience, the book knowledge, the intuition, your instincts, all of those things together, and adding in that is, again, source in the downloads, gives you the divine wisdom. And sometimes, you know, again, not to lean on into my own understanding, but in using wisdom is beyond your own understanding. You don't know how things come together, but they do. And this is what this action and this full moon is bringing, is for you to go on ahead and to make this action so that it can make you be more wiser than you are. Because when you're going, and I've done my past life regressions, and all of this saying is just, it's all about the experience. The more you experience the world, the more you know. The more you know, the more you grow, the more knowledge you have. And this is what we're trying to right now in gaining, and with this full moon is bringing us this wisdom and understanding that even if you deep dive into your emotions, now it's nothing to be afraid of. That with this fish here, the school of fish, there's prosperity and an abundance, and that's also part of your wealth of wisdom. Wisdom brings that too, how to be able to get that money, how to be able to get into that relationship. And so this movement of this time of action is helping us to become more wiser in this journey, wiser in our soul, wiser as a human being, because of all of these things, the experience, the intuition, you know, our knowledge that we have gained in either reading or being studying things. All these things come together in this moment, and this is what time's up. This is what this moon is bringing to us, to understand the destiny of being more wiser than what we were. But we got to take action, and then we can rely on what spirit brings us. All right there, because I guess I've seen here this one is saying again in our energies, and then when we get there, we'll be able to rest and rejuvenate and be empowered by that knowingness that, again, we don't have to continuously move matter out there. We got to do something and be in that divine masculine energies to actually have something manifest that we could just be. All right then, until next time, thank you, Divine Sunshiners, for tuning in. Again, hit the notification bell so you can be able to be updated with new videos that I feel that I need to come on here as well, and to share and to help you and to educate you on knowing as far as your wisdom on this journey. All right, then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascendant. Ooh, namaste and namago. Until next time. See ya.